Hello and welcome. It is Thursday, December 18th. I'm going to do what I said I was going to do last video if you've been watching. These are all, well, this and this tote here, this blue one, this first one here, back here, are, my products left over. I think that's all I have left. I mean, I don't have my ornaments and my magnets are in there too, but that's, I don't know if I'm going to even go through those today, but we'll see. But what I'm doing is these are all my products left over for my vendor events. As you know, again, if you've been following along, but if you don't, I don't have any more vendor events this year. I'm not planning on doing any more until spring, at the very least. I don't have one technically scheduled until summer. I have one that I'm applied for in the spring, but I don't know if I'm in yet. I assume I'm going to get in. That one's in May. I'm not sure if I'm going to do any more in April or anything like that yet, but probably not starting until like April next year, unless a good opportunity comes up, but we'll see about that, or what I think is a good opportunity, because I might be wrong. But anyway, so I want to kind of go through at least my products today. I do kind of want to do all this other stuff too. By the way, this is my little area down in the basement. We spent one vlog, I don't remember which one it was now, one of the earlier ones, cleaning up this area. As you can see, it's back to disaster, but that's mainly because of, again, I know if you've been following along, you know all this already, but about a month and a half ago now, ish, my father-in-law passed away, and then we had to move my mother-in-law in with us, so I had my stuff like in certain areas, and then because we moved her into one of our bedrooms, some of my stuff was in that bedroom, had to move it all around and stuff, tried to keep it kind of organized, but a lot of it ended up like in chaos down here. So I have to kind of go through all this at one point. I'm probably not doing that now, but at some point. But right now, all I want to do is go through their products. I think we have enough room to do that. Move stuff around a little bit. But like I said, what I'm doing is putting these in categories kind of. So again, another thing I said before in a different video, what I'm planning on doing, I think I'm still doing this. Right now I'm still doing it. There is a marketplace opening up it's not real close, it's kind of close. It's not that far away, but it's kind of a good opportunity that I have because the rest of them are kind of filled up already. Where you can bring your stuff and sell it somewhere, like you can, like there's different kinds of categories where like there's a place, and I think this is what this place is, where you just kind of drop your stuff off and they sell it for you, which again, I think that's what this is, pretty sure. But you're kind of still in charge of your stuff there. There's places that, like, I do want to get into this too, where I sell wholesale, so like certain like boutiques and stuff might want my stuff, which by the way, I did join FAIR, which is FAIRE, which is kind of a way to get other businesses to buy your stuff too, and I think individuals can buy stuff too. I'm not sure. I have to like double check all that, and that's probably another category I'm gonna have, like stuff, well maybe I could sell that on FAIR or whatever, but that's another version where like it's a wholesale thing where people buy like a bulk thing from you and they sell them at their own store and they're in charge of it. Like they buy whatever they want and then they sell it, or they don't, or whatever. So, but you're not in charge of stocking. They are, well, you may either ship your stuff or deliver it to the place, but they order it from you. You don't just bring it there. So that's that. And then there's also, like, I know of one place like this, and I've been kind of considering maybe doing that at some point, maybe even during the winter when I'm not doing a vendor event. But there's a place that I've known of for a while that they're open on the weekends and you sell on the weekends. Like you sit in your little shop, you pay rent, and you sell from your little shop on the weekend. But that you have to be there for, or you have to have someone there for you during the weekend, or you have to close, for that weekend or whatever. So I've been kind of looking at that place, but I'm not sure. Because actually a friend of my father's was selling there for a while, and my dad's like, ooh, you should see this, So I don't know. I might do that. But that's different because you have to be there. But it's also nice being there too, because especially for me, because then I can get more custom orders maybe. But I do know also that at one point they had someone there that was doing something similar to me. So I don't know if they want me there. I don't know if that person is still there. I have to kind of look at that again, but that's going to be a next year thing anyway if I do it. So what I'm trying to say is I want to go through my products, the ones that I have, and see if there's anything that I can bring with me to this place that I want to go at the end of the year. They're doing like an open house. They're opening next year, January 7th, I think. And they're doing like an open house where you're as a vendor, you can come and like show, oh, this is what I have, you know, do you have space for me? Do you want my stuff? You know, so I'm going to probably do that. It's on the 30th, 12:30. I think they have one on the 31st too. But anyway, I'm probably going to be doing that on the 30th. But so I have stuff that I think I can bring along there, but I also need to make more by then. So that's kind of what I want to do today, is kind of figure out, what do I have? What do I want to bring? What do I want to make before I get there? Do I have the materials for it? Do I need to buy stuff? You know, stuff like that. So, also, the stuff I do have, if it's ready as is, great. If it's something, like I think, for example, these Home Sweet Home ones don't really sell, you know? I think they like the welcome ones better. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is sanding this off and repainting the Home Sweet Home one. So I have this one and this one right here that I'm probably going to sand off because I don't think they're doing as well. And just do something similar to this, where I have a welcome one, because those seem to be better. And I do like this idea for that vendor place that I'm thinking of, because they are kind of more general, and I think they would sell better there rather than getting too specific. And then obviously I'm going to try to have a sign that says, oh, I can make like custom things for you too, if you'd like something with your name on it or whatever, or if you want different colors, different flowers, or different design on there, whatever, you know, I can do that too. But these are ready-made, ready to sell. So I want to make 2 more kind of like this, not exactly the same, but because I think that would be better. Like, I hadn't really had many comments about these Home Sweet Home ones, so I think I'd rather make them into welcomes, so the welcomes sold better. So I'm going to be doing that. So I have 3 of these left, and I have 3 of the small ones left. And I want to bring them all to this place. Depending on how well they sell, I will obviously replenish the ones that get sold, but I might make more too, but they do take up a lot of space too, so I'm not sure like what kind of space I'm going to have. But anyway, I'm going to work on these. So this one I'm keeping. I said I was going to make piles, but I don't really have room for piles. These I'm going to sand off and redo. But this one is good as is. I'm going to put this here for now. So I have that. The smaller ones are in here, and then I also have my one frame sawing that I have. It's the last one of these that I have. Actually, I do have another one of these frames, but I think it was starting to fall apart, so I had to kind of see if I could glue it. If I can't, then, you know, I only have this one. The only thing also I don't like about these, I had to put a staple in here because there's nothing on here to hang anything off of. And this is the best I can do. Like, I don't really have the equipment to make like a picture hanger on here because of the way the wood is. But like, I have smaller versions of these that I was going to paint for the holidays and I didn't. You probably saw that in one video if you've been watching, like I said. Actually, I have them over here. But the smaller ones have picture hangers on them. They're kind of buried right now. I can't get them right now, but maybe later in the video because I do want to go through what I have and what I can paint or whatever. So, but like, I like these, and I sold, well, I had one like this, similar, that I gave away as a gift that said welcome to their neck of the woods. And I had 2 that were just welcome, and they had flowers. And then I had this one. This one didn't sell, obviously. And then, like I said, I had 6 to start out with, so I'm trying to figure out where the other one was. Did I sell that one? Because I know there's one upstairs in my studio upstairs that I have, office, that is damaged in some way, and I was going to see if I could fix it, but I'm not sure what happened, because I had 6. Maybe I had 3 welcome. I don't know. But anyway, this is the only one right now that I have all done, and I'm going to leave it the way it is, even though, yeah. I mean, it would be hard to get it off of here anyway, so hopefully this sells at some point. But I'm going to bring that. I also have similarly a circular one like that. And I did have another one of these, and that one sold. So this is another version of that. But I kind of like this because I mean, here in Wisconsin, it is kind of common to have like a cabin up north. Not everyone. I mean, we don't have one, but like I know people who have cabins up north and stuff like that. So that's kind of for people like that. That's what's that. And I actually do want to make a few more signs like that, cabin related or lake related or something like that. I've wanted to make those for a while at my events. I just never had time. So now I'm going to make time now, basically. It's also kind of intimidating with the vendor events because like you have to like, well, I have to cart all this stuff. Hopefully it sells. But now if I'm only carting it once to this place and hopefully it sells, but then I don't have to keep like bringing it back and forth, you know, so I can kind of experiment a little more, I guess. So anyway, I have one of these. I had one like this and it sold. I think I started saying that. So I made another one. So this is a good sign. I think people will buy this eventually. So I'm going to keep this one. This one was made for the fall and I didn't really get any comments about it or anything. So I think I'm going to sand this off and I'm going to make, when I started this journey doing vendor events this year, my first event was the July 4th event. It was a 3-day event, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. But I made 2 American flag type ones. Not that it was the real flag, but it was like, I had one horizontally where the stars were up here and the stripes were down here, and then there was a white band in the middle that said welcome. And then I had another one with a white band in the middle that said welcome, but then like the stars were on the left side and the stripes were on the right side. So I want to make something like that because both of those sold eventually, and I think they're, you know, appealing to a certain person or whatever, but I think that would be better than this. I don't think this is going to work, especially now because it's not fall anymore. It's going to be winter. Well, it is technically, but it's going to be winter. Well, not for very long. It's going to be winter very soon here. But so, and I didn't have a lot of interest in this one when I was hanging up. So I'm going to sand this off, make this into a flag. So I'm going to put this in the sanding pile. And then this one I am going to keep the way it is. Just a welcome flowers. It is, when you hang it up, it is kind of slanted. But I kind of like that, personally. I would like this. Like, I think someone's going to like it eventually. So those are good there. So I was looking at this one and the lettering on ingredients kind of bothering me. So I think I'm going to sand this. But I do want to do something similar like this on a different sign. The same saying. So I'll do that. I mean, this one's kind of wonky too, but I think I'm going to leave it alone. Yeah, it's in the right pile. Okay, so I think I'll leave this one alone because, you know, I think it's good enough. I probably could have done that better, but I think it's fine. This one I do get comments on too. Your opinion is not part of the recipe. I'm going to bring that one along. And then I do get comments about this one too. A house isn't a home without paw prints. Although this is a little messed up, but that, you know, that's the handmade quality. So I'll bring this one. I might make another one too. So we'll see. I mean, obviously that would sell though. I will make another one. Now these are all kind of out of season, but I have these small ones that are double-sided. I kind of am thinking I might not want to bring those to the vendor mall place that I'm doing. Maybe a few, because I do have some empty blank base painted ones, including this one that I just brought down from upstairs. I could have made a Christmas one on here, but I didn't have time because I ran out of Christmas ones, like I said, at my last couple events. Would have been nice to have some, but I didn't really, you know, have time to do it with all the stuff going on. So I have a blank one here, but I have a bunch more blank ones over there too. I'm going to put this kind of over there so I kind of remember. But I think most, if not all of these, I'm going to sand off and redo with something else. And I'm not sure at this point if I want to bring those to the vendor place or not, because when I do them two-sided, I have to tell most people, even though I have signs that say they're two-sided, I have to tell most people there's something on both sides. You have to flip it over, you know, but most people don't seem to get it. So if I'm not there to tell them, I want to make sure they know that. And it's also hard to price them, like put a price tag on them themselves. It's kind of difficult for me to be like, because I don't know what kind of space I'm going to get and what how I'm going to display them. So like it's hard putting unless I wrap this already in a plastic bag and then put the tag on there. I might have to do that. But then be like, hey, it's two-sided. Look at the other side, you know? Because when there's something on both sides, you can't put a price tag. I mean, could. I get kind of nervous about putting tags on because I don't want it to rip off the paint. So, or the sealer, because they are sealed. You could maybe put it like on the top or something, or on the bottom, but I don't know. So I'm kind of like, do I want to bring these to my vendor place or not? I don't know. But I think, I mean, this one for sure I'm going to sand. This one I'm going to sand. This one I'm going to sand. This one might be okay to keep for like next year, fall season. It's fine. I sold one like this before. That's why I made another one, but then the second one didn't sell. So I'm going to put this in, keep that for next year pile. Yeah, this one's not that great. I'm going to sand that one off. Same with this one. Yeah, this one too. So I'm going to sand all these. That one I'm keeping. One. I also have this, which I think I'm going to bring to my vendor place. Thinking maybe it'll eventually sell there. Maybe I'll put it on sale or something at once. But I have a lot of interest in this one with the snowman. But I think, again, depending on how I can display things, if I can get it to where I can show people, like, hey, you can just, you might not be able to see where you are, but you can just lean it against, like, the wall. And if maybe you have other stuff around it or whatever, you can just display it like that. Like, it doesn't, like, people are worried because it's round. They're like, oh, I don't know. Like, well, you don't have to put it, like, on a shelf. Like, you can just kind of lean it against, even, like, your kitchen counter, like, during the holidays. Not near your stove, but, you know, like, against, you know, like your backsplash or whatever, and then your counter, and you can just kind of display it for the holidays. And I have Thanksgiving on this side and winter/Christmas on this side. You know, I thought that would sell eventually. And people, like I said, people like this snowman one. And I say, oh, there's something on the other side. But then they're like, oh, I don't know how to use it, you know? And I'm like, you could just lean it up against the wall, you know? So hopefully if I can display it right, I think I can get people to buy it. So I'm going to put this in the pile. This is this pile of stuff that's ready-made that I'm going to bring with me that day. Now, okay, so I'm pretty sure I'm not going to bring any of this because this is all holiday related. But I am going to go through and see if there's like stuff I'm going to save for next season. I have some of those, like the trees. Pretty sure I might redo the lettering on some of these. Like this one's fine. This one's also fine. But this one, the lettering's a little messed up. So I'm going to probably sand this side, but not this side, I don't think. Depends on what I want to do with, because I don't have the same green probably, so I might have to do both sides. So I've already sanded that once, so I'm going to sand it again. But these are fine. So I'm going to keep this for next year. I'll put it back in here for now. These, I also need to seal these better because they're, I mean, I just kind of need a magic eraser to take it off, but from transporting and stuff, they got a little messed up. I had a few comments that these were cute from people, but no one bought any. So I'm like, should I keep them for next year? How many? Like this one's pretty good. I think I'm going to keep this one. I have Believe and Merry Christmas. This one, I like the wreath, but I don't like the lettering on this one. So I think I'm going to sand this one. I have another Believe, gray Believe. So I think I'm going to keep these. So for next year, if they don't sell next year at all, then I will sand them off. But for now, they're good. So I'm keeping these for next year. Now I have some bigger ones as well. Like that. And again, this has got a little, it just needs a little magic eraser and it'll come right off. But I think I'm going to keep these too, so I'll keep these. Then, like some of these, like the lettering was not so great on some of these. Like this one's pretty good, but the berries are a little, I might want to touch up this a little bit, but it's fine. I can do that when that kind of time comes because it's going to be like a year from now. Maybe a little less, obviously. But, like the lettering's okay on here. I'm not sure I like it as much. So I think I might sand this one. And then I have one more of these. This one I don't like the lettering. I can tell you that right now. I do like the wreath, but I don't like the lettering. I'm going to take pictures. I already have pictures of all these, but I'm going to take more before I sand them off, so I kind of like know, okay, I can make it like that again next time or whatever. These, there are a few of these that had a little thing I didn't like. I'm not sure about this one. Let me see. Yeah, this one I think I definitely want to sand. There was one I know that had, like I sanded it before and it got kind of a line in it. I didn't do a good job sanding, so I'm going to sand that one again, see if I can fix that. And then, I mean, honestly, these didn't get a whole lot of interest in them anyway, so I might just sand them anyway, like even if they're okay. So I think I'm going to sand these. I was hoping I could sell more Christmas signs, but didn't happen. So these are all saving for next season. Vendor-wise, this too. I got some hooks and stuff in here too, but I'll go through that later. That's all I had from what I was bringing to me from my events. I do have other things that I messed up on that I need to sand too, so works out, doesn't it? Like this is the start of another Merry Christmas one that, I'm not keeping them anyway, so I might as well sand it. And then, let's see. It's the start of a wreath, but obviously didn't finish that. Wouldn't have sold anyway, right? So, yeah, I'm going to sand all these. This one was real bad. Sanding all those. So I need a bigger sanding pile, I think. Or I can put them back over here. And then, well, I'm going to put these back over here for now. These are my sanding pile. I have more of my wood chunks here that are half done or not done at all that I can start thinking about, well, what do I want to put on there for next year for the vending, the vend place. It's called Grafton Collective Market, if you're in the area, by the way. I should be there starting next year, but we'll see how that goes. But I have 4 of my wood chunks here that are ready to add something to, because if I am trying to sell this, then I could sell a few more probably. And I can also, because the problem is too, I started an online shop now, but the things that I'm bringing to my vendor place, I got to take off my online shop because I don't have those anymore. I have things that are half sanded over here too, but and then I have blanks, which is good. That's kind of more what I need to figure out. The rest of this video is what I'm going to make now, like, and do I have the materials for it? But these were ones that I made for the July 4th stuff that I started sanding. And, well, depending on what color I'm making, I can probably just paint over. I might as well put those in that pile, I guess. I mean, they're technically sanded already, but I might sand them a little more. I have those signs I was talking about earlier up here. Actually, this is one that wasn't painted at all. Just to give you an example. I was like, I misplaced this one compared to the other ones. I painted all the other ones white because I was going to make holiday stuff on them. And I never, I started doing a few of them and I messed them up. And I'm like, oh, and it was back a couple episodes ago when I was preparing for a certain event. And it was right when the stuff with my father-in-law was just starting. And I was not concentrating very well. So, but anyway, this is a blank version, completely blank. But this does have the picture hangers on it already. The big size, like I said, didn't have anything like that. And they still don't, like where I get them from. So, that. So, you know, I like the size of those, but then I don't want to buy more because they don't have the little hangers on them. And it's a pain. But anyway, so this is what I mean. I have a bunch of these that do have the hangers on them that I can make something out of. I'm not sure what, because these are kind of limited. They're small. But that's something I can make for the vendor mall or for my online shop, which is what I was trying to say. Like, I don't have, now that I'm bringing stuff or I'm sanding stuff off, like I don't have anything on my online shop. Not that anyone's really looking at it at the time, but I'm trying to get people to look at it. So then what am I going to have on my online shop? what am I going to have in my vendor mall? You know, stuff like that. So, I mean, in theory, I'd rather have custom stuff on my online shop, you know, but I'd like to have ready-made stuff too there. So the problem is, I said this before in other videos, like everything I make is unique. Like I try to make similar things, but they're not all going to be exactly the same. So then I have to photograph them and make sure that that's the one that I put on the website that's ready, that I have here ready to ship, like if someone buys it off my website. But then I have another one that might be similar that's at the vendor mall, you know. So I have to make like several things and stuff like that, so it's a pain. But anyway, this goes with that stuff over there. It's all in that kind of pile. I guess there is another thing I'm just looking at now. Let me bring it over. So I started, for the July 4th event, I started making these flag signs, but I was having trouble with them. Kind of see. I never got the stars done, and then some of the stripes are kind of messed up. But I do kind of still want to do these, and I think I'm doing a 4th of July event next year, possibly. So I want to save a few, but this might be a good thing to have at the vendor mall too, because that's kind of an, depending on the person, it's kind of a everyday kind of thing. Like maybe they're real into America or something, you know. So like I have technically 8 of these. There's 4 here. I'm not sure where the other 4 are right now. But anyway, I think I'm going to try to make some of these for the vendor place, and then have some on, this is another thing I could have on my website and bring with me to my vendor events next year, is these flags. Then I also have more, you know, base painted. I have a few more too that I didn't grab, of these small signs. So I can still make more of those, like I said. But the packaging is like, oh, I don't know. Plus, I usually like to make those seasonal with holidays. You can't really see me right now. I'm over here. I like to make those seasonal with the holidays. And the beginning of the year, it's like, well, what do I want to do? Like Valentine's Day and spring and Easter and stuff like that. Like, it's better for the second half of the year. Like fall, Christmas, Halloween, you know, 4th of July. The ones I had before, 4th of July and summer, were those kind of ones. So I'm not sure what to do with them for the beginning of the year. Because not everyone decorates for Valentine's Day, you know. I mean, I don't even celebrate Valentine's Day. Don't ask. I don't like Valentine's Day, okay? Myself, plus, oh, that's another thing. Well, I have these little canvases I bought that are circular and ovular, that I was going to make something Christmas related for. Never got to it, but I could now use these for stuff that I could have in the vendor place too. So I have these. I still have a bunch of those square and rectangle, like brown, black, white, base painted signs that I can make something out of too. So I have all kinds of things I can make. Just kind of trying to figure out what I can do and how much. It's kind of difficult because I don't know like the space I'm going to have, the size, or what it looks like, or how I'm going to display things or whatever. So it's kind of difficult for me right now to figure it out, and it's in a way it's kind of intimidating. So I do have a bunch of those square and rectangle signs, like the bigger ones. The other thing I was going to say is I have these. So when I bought the initial batch of my squares, I actually bought a second batch later. I had circular ones that went with it, but these are hard to display, and it's hard for me to sell these. I'm not sure what to do with them. Like when I was sanding things a little while ago, I thought, well, maybe I could get them to have like a flatter bottom, so they're kind of semicircular. And here's actually some of my examples of that. Hold on. So here's one where I kind of sanded the bottom where it stands a little better, but I have to kind of work on that. So I might be able to use those too for stuff, because otherwise I'm not sure what to do with them. But anyway, I have those. I don't have these downstairs right now, they're upstairs. There's all things that I wanted to do this year for the holidays, but I didn't finish. But I have, maybe I'll bring one down. I don't know. I have trays, like they're really for display only. I wouldn't use them to like actually carry stuff. They're made of wood, but you know, not the best quality, but kind of decorative. Like, and I wasn't sure exactly because I was gonna make some Christmas related ones, which I think would be a little more appropriate. But I could maybe make some floral ones, and again, just decorative. You could either like kind of put them up, like kind of like those chunks, like up against a wall. Or you could use it like on a table and then maybe put some stuff inside of it, but then it kind of covers the design, so I'm not sure what to do with it. And I also have these like narrow boxes, kind of, that I want to paint too. I have a bunch of those. And then what else do I have? I have a bunch of like plaques that I'm not sure what to do with. I think kind of have an idea. Maybe that might be something if I can get it done in time for the vendor place. Like I could maybe make like a coat hanger kind of for those that say maybe welcome on them. Or I could make a custom version that has like a name and then put little hooks on it for coats. Cause it's a plaque. It's hard, it's like there's a solid back and then there's like a little kind of, and then it comes out and then like a very like, you know, it's a little different than these kind of signs that I have, where like these are kind of a box on the back. Those are solid on the back and they're solid on the front, and then they've got like a little, like all around they've got a little, I don't know what to call it. I don't know the proper term. Again, I wish I had one down here, but I don't. It's like a plaque, like, but no, like not a lot of people use those kind of things anymore, and I'm not sure why I bought them. Bought them when I bought all this other crap too. And I thought, oh, I can make this, and you know, it never worked out. So now I'm kind of stuck with them. Like, what am I gonna do? I have like 12 of them or 10 of them or something, maybe 8. I'm not sure. But like, you know, I don't know what to do with these. These are a little easier because part of the problem with the plaque is, again, there's no way to hang it. Like, they don't have a hanger on them. I'd have to put something on it. These, you could always use this to hang, like very easily. And they're also lighter. Like the plaques are very heavy. So, I don't know. These are the ones I'm saving for next year. But anyway, so that's that. Do have those bags I bought that I was gonna make Christmas stuff on, but I could make them like happy birthday and, you know, gift bag, just a general gift bag. I could bring those along. I do want to make cards. I have my ornaments and magnets in here too. I want to make more of those, but that's another thing I'd have to like figure out exactly what I'm doing. I've been trying to do that for my events lately anyway, so, but the ornaments I'm not going to make. I have to kind of go through my ornaments and see, okay, I'm saving this for next year, or, you know, this one's kind of messed up. I'll sand it again and then try again next year to put something else on it. So I have to go through those still, but I mean, that's pretty much that, I guess, down here. I guess I can bring you upstairs and see if there's anything. So that's what I'm going to be working on the next couple of videos. Like I said, I'm going to probably bring you upstairs and show you what I was talking about, a few things up there. Brought my laptop down because I was going to start typing, like what I want to put in my vendor wall stuff, but I can do that upstairs. So I guess I'll bring you upstairs. All right, again, forgive me, it's a little messy over here and stuff, like I said. But these are the trays I was talking about. There's actually 2 sizes. And I have a couple different colors. Like I have a white one, I have a darker brown. That might be it. I think I had 6 of these. So, but maybe I could do this with Wisconsin stuff too. Or floral stuff, like I said. So I'll probably do something with these. Then I have these are the boxes I was talking about. I have a bunch of these different colors as well. I actually started sketching out, maybe I'd say home or something like that. I'm not sure if I still want to do that, but I have a bunch of these. They do have kind of a rough, I did sand them down a little, but they do have kind of a rough outside, which is hard to paint, but we'll see how that goes. I have these, this was the one, like I knew I had another one of these size things, and like I said, there's nothing, I didn't put staples on this one. There's nothing back here to hang it up, so I still have to staple it. I have to find my stapler. I don't know where that is right now, but maybe I could, because I think the problem with this isn't that it was falling apart, it's is the stain kind of messed up. So either have to restain it or paint it, or try to get it off and then do something, seal it and then paint it. I don't know. I have to do something, see if I can get this like a better, I mean, it's not that bad, I guess. I mean, this is kind of messed up over here, but see if I can fix this. But then I have like one more of these that I can make like a welcome sign like I used to or whatever. And then I couldn't find my actual plaques that I have. There's a stack of them somewhere. They might be downstairs. I just didn't see them when I was down there. This is sort of what I mean. This is a one-off one that I bought a while ago that I was going to make something out of, and I ended up not. But this is what I mean by the plaque. Like, it's solid on the back, doesn't have anything to hang up, and then it's got like this solid edge and then like a bevel to it or something, and then like the solid top. And they're 11 by 14, I think, the ones I have. So I'm like, what am I going to do with these? Like this one, I could probably also make a coat rack thing out of, or maybe like a beer bottle opener as another option maybe for this. Maybe if I have this, like if I can find like a smaller, like rectangular version of this, maybe not with this on it, maybe that might be something I could do too. But I don't have it. I didn't bring them out, but when I was looking in my office in there, which is a disaster, we're not going to go in there today. But I have, because I had bought these for the night market at the craft beer festival thing that I went to in August, that long ago. And I thought, well, it's a good idea to be at a beer festival. Like, why don't I make like I know I can't use the word koozie, that's trademarked, but you know what I mean. Like a can cooler, can holder, like keeping cool kind of thing. And I bottle ones too. So I thought those might be something I could do for that event. Well, I never finished them. And actually something I think I'm going to do instead is embroider them, not paint them. So, because I talked about that in my last video too, where I do embroidery more now. Like I just started learning right before I started all this vendor event stuff, but it's something I can incorporate my lettering into, because again, I'm a lettering artist, that's what I do. It's something I can do that's not a sign, you know, because again, most of what I make is signs, and not everyone is a sign person. So it's like, what else can I make that people will buy, you know? So I think I might do that. Maybe if I can get some of those done for that, I'll do that. I also have, because I bought a pack of them because I used one or two as like for gifts, but I have these like wine gift bags that are made of burlap, so I could probably embroider those as well and try to sell those. So I have those. Like I said, it's my initial making ideas right now. I'm probably gonna film more because I'm obviously not putting a video out today. Well, my Tuesday one was late anyway. It came out on Wednesday, so I'm probably gonna put this one out on the weekend. But I have, I have stuff going on the next couple of days. I'm not sure what else I'm gonna film. If I start making stuff, I might show you what I've made or whatever. But I didn't do it today. I might maybe do it tomorrow or Saturday maybe. I don't really have time Sunday. Well, I don't really have time Saturday either, because Sunday I'm doing a Christmas party #1 for my family, and I'm making buns and bread I was requested, so that's going to take a lot of time on my Saturday and Sunday before I go to the party, so we'll see. I don't know. There'll probably be something else on this video, but I'm not sure what it is right now. What do you think, Supervisor Chaz? Should I include you on the decision on what I should make for the stuff, or do you delegate that to me? He's drinking right now. All right. Anyway, I'll let you know what he says. I'll see you later, whatever I put on this video. What I was gonna say is, I forgot to say this. I mentioned this on my last video. My mother-in-law wants me to make her a welcome sign for her new place, so I'm probably gonna be doing that at some point. So I'll probably either do it while I'm doing it, show you, or I'll show you afterwards what I've made, basically. So we'll see. Hello, it is Friday, December 26th. Just updating for the vlog. It's been a little bit since I filmed. Couple things to talk about. One, the place that I was going to possibly sell at, that was going to be next week, like open house or whatever that I had talked about earlier. I think I talked about that on here. I mean, I know I talked about the products that I might bring there. I don't know if I talked about the whole process, but I'm not doing it anyway. So I decided not to do it. It's just, I can't, this time of year, I just can't do it, especially with everything else that went on, going on in my personal life right now. And there's actually more that I'm going to tell you about in a minute. Yeah, I just can't do it this time of year. So I'm hoping that in a couple months they still have some spaces left, or some people leave or whatever, that I'll be able to get in there, or another place. I mean, that place is a little further away, but not that bad. But I'm trying to get into a few of those this coming year, 2026. Hopefully at least one, but hopefully a few more. So, and I'm going to concentrate because I'm on the online FAIR website. It's FAIRE. I haven't started it yet technically, but I got in. Like, I applied and I got in. I was kind of surprised about that, but I'm glad I did. So I'm going to start concentrating on that, where people can buy wholesale things from me. That's that. Another thing I have to talk about, I don't know how to say this. The 23rd, the day before Christmas, the night before Christmas Eve, my cat, Assistant Chaz, he was promoted to supervisor, and now he's promoted again. We'll get to that in a minute here. He was not doing well, and I wasn't sure if he was going to make it through Christmas. He might have, if I would have left him alone. But I ended up making the decision, my husband and I together made the decision to take him in to get euthanized, because he was having a hard time. And having a hard time walking, having a hard time breathing. Like, we're pretty sure he had kidney disease. They never technically said that, but when I brought him into the vet like a year ago, but he has hyperthyroidism too, so that kind of masks the kidney disease, so it doesn't show up in the blood work. So they're not like, well, we think he has kidney disease, but we technically don't know, and he pretty much did. So I knew that was probably going to be his downfall in some way at some point, and I think, in the end, that really was what did him in. He also, even without the kidney disease, at least I'm pretty sure, he always kind of had some issues with his back legs, but the kidney disease makes that worse. They always have issues with their back legs, so that's a big part of the reason. So we had to take him in to get euthanized on the 23rd, so he's not going to be around anymore. What I was going to say is, I promoted him to supervisor, and already at some of my events that I have the employee of the month sign that says, Supervisor Chaz, employee of the month. People took that as, oh, is he dead? I'm like, well, not yet. I don't know how long he's going to last, So, but I might, if I do that again this year, we'll see. I'm going to decide, if I do that again this year, I would probably say heavenly supervisor or something like that. Because he is still probably watching over me and judging me, so, but he gets to be with his sister. But anyway, she died a few years ago. But anyway, that happened right before Christmas, so that was great. But obviously I'm sad he's gone, and, I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want to make that decision, but I had to. Try not to cry again. But the other half of it is, he did require a lot of care from me the last couple of years, but especially the last couple months. And now I'm going to have more time to do stuff, after I grieve and stuff after the holidays. I should be able to get more stuff done nowadays. I'm trying not to cry, but I am. I should be able to concentrate a little more and get more stuff done, and where I don't have to worry about, taking care of him and his bad bouts, that he would go in sometimes. They would always come at the worst time. I have a lot to do, Chazzy, can you not? So now I don't have to worry about that. That's that. Then, what's the other thing? I thought there was one other thing I wanted to update. Well, I don't think this was it, but I do still have, I think I mentioned I have to make a sign for my mother-in-law. I haven't done that yet, so I'm going to do it sometime this week coming up. We got all kinds of stuff because we're still working on, getting her settled in her new place, going back to her old house because we haven't sold it yet. We're going to be selling it in the spring probably. and getting that ready and stuff, and going through the stuff, like what are we going to keep, what are we going to try to sell, you know, that kind of stuff. So we're still working on that, and especially because my husband's off this coming week. Well, he's off pretty much now, like since the 23rd, I guess, basically. He's been off, and he's off through New Year's. So we're going to be working on a lot of that. So I'm not going to be doing a whole lot for the business. I'm trying to do little things. Plus, so my immediate family for Christmas, because we usually get together with my dad's side, like his, not all of his brothers and sisters, because he's got a lot, well, some of them aren't around anymore either, but his two closest, like his closest brother and his closest sister, the closest sister actually died this year, but her family is still, well, she has one daughter and then, you know, grandchildren too, and a son-in-law. They're there, but it's mainly them, and then we have like a friend of the family and their family. We all get together. We already did that one, but that one sometimes I have to host, and I didn't have to host that one this year, so that was good. And then we just did yesterday, well, Christmas Eve, we went to my husband's family, like my mother-in-law's brother, so we went to them for Thanksgiving too. But anyway, so we had that. Then Christmas Day, we went to my mom's side of the family. So my mom's mom, my grandma, is the only grandparent I have alive, but we usually have Christmas Day at her house, so we did that yesterday. But then we decided, because last year, what I'm getting is my immediate family, my parents and my sister and her husband and me and my husband all get together normally just as a unit ourselves and celebrate sometime around Christmas. But last year, we didn't, we ended up not doing it until like March of this year. So we did get it this year. We're doing it at my house, so I'm hosting, but it's not, you know, it's not a big thing, so it's not that big, but I do have a lot of stuff I have to do to get ready for that now. And that's going to be on Sunday, so 2 days from now. But it's just my parents and my sister. I'm not like that worried about my house or anything like that, but I do have to clean a little bit, especially because of Chazzy. Chazzy left a bunch of mess. So, I have all that going on. So I'm probably not going to be able to do much business-wise, and that's another reason why I'm like, I'm not going to get this done for the wholesale place or whatever that I wanted to sell at. So that's not happening, at least not this month, like I said. Maybe in a couple months they'll still have some room, like I said, and I can get in. We'll see. But I'm going to work on that this year overall, trying to get into places like that so that, like, you know, other people can sell my stuff for me, though I don't have to do it, you know. I don't have to ship it out for online either, but I'm going to work on that too, get my online stuff going too, and my teaching stuff too. I want to do that. But those are kind of my overall general goals for the year. I haven't really made a specific goal, but that's sort of what I want to concentrate on, is what I'm trying to say. But so that's all been going on. This video is probably not going to come out for a while because I don't have much to do. If I do my mother-in-law's sign, I'm going to try to film myself doing it. If I don't film myself doing it, I'll at least show you what it looks like at the end before I give it out to her. Like, I'm going to try to get that done soon so I can give it to her. And I'm just going to make it kind of winter themed so she can use it like throughout the next couple of months into spring, and then I'll make her a spring one, or spring/summer, like florals and stuff. And then I'll probably make her like a fall one, and then she'll have like throughout the year a couple that she can put on her door. So I'll do that, but I'm probably just gonna make the winter one for now. In fact, I only bought one to make her now. But also, as far as my family goes, I didn't actually get anything for them for Christmas yet. So a couple of them I want to do some handmade stuff, and I'm gonna see if I can get it done in time for Sunday. But I might be working on some signs for a few of those presents that, you know, again, I'm going to try to film. It's hard to film, especially when I'm on a time crunch. So we'll see if I film, but I'll show you for sure. And then if there's anything else business related that happens in the next week or so, like I said, this vlog is probably not going to come out until after New Year's, probably. So, because I don't have a whole lot of stuff to put on it. Plus, you know, I do want to get back into a regular schedule once the new year starts. So, like I said, Tuesday, Thursday, and normally Saturday, but sometimes Sunday is what I want to do for this channel. And I was doing it to begin with, and then I got off track. But that's okay. So, not like there's a whole lot of people watching right now anyway. So, I'm off track with my other channel too. That's all right. But now with Chazzy gone too, it's going to be a little easier to film. Like I said, I hate saying that, but it's true. I'll just have his kind of phantom voice behind me, like, you know, judging me while I'm working. But he won't be interrupting my videos anymore. But other than that, and also just to say, at some point we might get another cat, but right now I need a break, so it's going to be a while before that happens. And right now I'm kind of saying I don't want another one, but I might change my mind in like a year or two, you know. But right now, it's because it's been so intense with both of my cats that I had, because his sister, like I said, died a few years earlier. They were both getting older. They both had issues. I think she also had kidney disease, but no one could tell me that either when it was going on. And she had a very rapid decline. Well, rapid as far as like health-wise. Like she seemed fine, and then it just happened. And but it was like intense for like a month and a half, and then she died. Chaz was a lot more drawn out, but it was like it would have like not quite as intense as with Otto, but it would have its moments where it got kind of intense, and I'm like, oh no, is this the end? And then, you know, then he would be fine for a while, and then, you know, something else would happen. So it's been a couple years of just constant like dealing with elderly cats. That has not been fun, and I don't want to do that again anytime soon. And if I do get another cat, I'm going to be like 15, 20 years older at that point, trying to deal with that, and that's not something I want to do. So that's why I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna get any more, but I don't know, we'll see. Maybe in a couple of years I'll change my mind, but right now I'm not. So my employee of the month is, you know, watching me from beyond. Like I said, if I do that again with my events, it'll probably be, I might change it to Heavenly Supervisor or something like that, but that might depress people. But, you know, I don't know. We'll see what I end up. I'm probably not going to do it. Seems kind of, I don't know. In a way, it seems kind of uncouth to do that when he's dead. Like, when he was alive, it was one thing. So, he's still employee of the month. It's just, you know, I'm not going to display that at my events. And it would kind of, you know, the reason I did it was it would get a reaction, and, you know, like sometimes, you know, people would say something and then that would lead to a conversation, and then, you know, you build a little bit of a connection with someone, then they might want to buy something, you know, and it kind of works sometimes. But man, I'll have to think of something else to do that instead of my employee of the month thing. That might be over, I think. Like I said, he's still, because the sign says employee of the month every month in perpetuity. It never said, you know, until death do us part or whatever. So he still is employee of the month. I don't want to advertise it, you know. So, yeah, I think, I can't remember if there was something else I wanted to say. I thought there was 3 big things, but I can't think of it now. So I'll leave you alone till the next time I film, which I don't know when that's going to be. Hello again. It is Tuesday, December 30th. I didn't even have to look at my watch. I didn't look at it before I started filming either, but I remember this time. Getting better, because things are getting a little less chaotic here. Not much, a little less. But anyway, I wanted to come on quick because I have a little time and kind of update. So, one of the things, I think I mentioned this earlier in this video, like, you know, a week ago or something, filming wise, that I had kind of messed up my Christmas contest that I was having where people could win a $50 gift card or whatever. I don't even know if anyone's playing. No one's asked me, like, hey, where are the pictures or anything like that. So, that I just got off track with that. I think I mentioned this, I'm not sure, but I got one day off track, and then that just threw me completely off track. So then as I said, I know I said this in my last clip, the day before Christmas Eve, which was the day that originally I was going to try to get everything out. I mean, well, 23rd or 24th. But the 23rd is when Chaz, we had to take him in. So that didn't happen. So then I was going to try to save it and have things done for, well, at some point. I was going to say the day after Christmas, but that didn't happen either. I had like ideas because I wasn't going to do pictures anymore. I did 5 pictures. I was going to because I have 15, I was going to split them into 3 different groups, pictures, 5 pictures. And then I was going to do like these phrases that kind of described the song, but they didn't give away the lyrics. And I was going to letter those because I'm a lettering artist, and that makes sense because the pictures aren't very good because I don't like, especially drawing people, I'm not very good at that. So, you know, this has evolved so much. But anyway, I was going to do that. And then the last 5, I was going to do in a word search and do the letters that like that. It's kind of hard to explain without showing you really. But that's what I was going to do. Well, I'm not doing that anymore either. Not for Christmas. So I decided actually the word search kind of thing I want to do. I actually did want to do this a couple of years ago. I had the idea of doing like this in general the last couple of years, and I never started it. So I want to start it this year, but that means that I have to get the one ready for January by January 1st, which is a couple days now, 2 days. Well, more like a day and a half, but I should be able to do that. I just kind of have to think of a theme because each one's going to be themed, and I'm going to reveal the word list that you're looking for halfway through the month. But if you can do it without the word list and get it entered and everything, you get like extra points. I haven't figured that part all out yet, but that's that. It'll be something like that. So I have to work on that. The other thing I'm doing is, well, I think I'll have time to film tomorrow a little bit, hopefully, before, you know, New Year's, because this New Year's Eve is tomorrow when I'm filming. Because I want to talk about my goals for the next year. If not, if I don't get time to film tomorrow, I'm still going to make a list tonight, well, tonight or tomorrow, finish. I've been kind of thinking about this, but not really writing it down yet. And I'm going to have goals that I'm going to talk about on the channel and things that I want to, well, I mean goals, but things I want to do, you know, like hopefully, and there'll be things that are a little lofty, like when I do my events, or I have a lofty goal, and we'll see how that goes. But we'll see, you know, how much I get done during the year. I want to have something to work towards. And also, another thing I wanted to say, and I might have said this, I'm not sure if I said this in my last clip when I was talking about Chaz, but I think I might have said something along the effect. I miss him. I don't want him to be gone. It's been horrible. But on the other hand, he was taking up a lot of my time, you know, taking care of him. And now, once I get everything organized, which is kind of what I want to talk about next, I should be able to keep on track a little easier because I don't have the constant distraction of, is he okay today? What do I have to do? Like, you know, because it was just like every day, it was like, okay, I think like there'd be days where he would be okay, and I'd be like, okay, I think I can work on something. And then all of a sudden, when I'm in the middle of working on something, you know, something would happen. So now that I don't have to worry about that as much anymore, I should be able to, I mean, there's other things that could happen, trust me, but you know, I should be able to concentrate more on the things that I'm trying to do and get more organized. And hopefully, like, because I was always, and still am to some extent, but you know, a little disorganized in general because of my life. But I've always been like, everyone always like, oh, you're so organized, you know? And that's how I've always been. That's how I prefer being. I prefer planning. I prefer organization. But the last couple of years, and a lot of this had to do with Chazzy, like I've just been like running crazy. And you know, things don't get done like my Christmas concerts that just got completely, you know. And the other part of it too is like, if I knew people were actually playing, then I would be more motivated. Okay, I got to get this done because there's people like counting on me. But when no one responds to anything, I don't know if anyone's playing. So that's the other part of it. But anyway, yeah, the whole thing with Chaz not being here anymore, you know, that took a big like section of my concentration. And I used to say this when he was employee of the month, that he doesn't really help, you know. I mean, he kind of does. Like, you know, it was nice having him around. It was nice, you know, but he distracted me, you know. Now I don't have that anymore. I don't have the distraction. I have my own distractions, but, you know, not that anymore. It's going to take a while to kind of come back from that too. I know that. I'm not like completely perfect now, even though he's been gone, what now? It's been a week. Yeah, it was Tuesday night last week that happened. So, and we don't have his ashes back yet. I just checked on that earlier today. It's not coming until, well, it's estimated between January 5th and 8th that we're gonna actually get him back. So, still kind of waiting on that and kind of nervous about it, but, you know. But it's been a week since, you know, we had to take him in. So, and, you know, I haven't really got a whole lot done in that time so far because there's all kinds of other stuff going on. We're still, you know, working on getting my mother-in-law settled and in her new place, and we're cleaning out her old house, and, you know, and my husband's been off this week, so it's harder to do things when he's here anyway. And that's just another distraction, you know. Or, you know, we have stuff we have to do because he's home. Like if he was at work, I could do whatever I wanted, but he's, you know, he's not at work. So that's why I haven't been doing a lot, you know, this, at least like physically for my business. And that's why this, my phone reminded me today that originally I was going to do today, like that open house with that one place to sell my stuff at their place. That was today. And like I said, I would never have been ready. Can't do it. But I'm hoping with that place, because that's going to be part of my goals, not necessarily that place in particular, but I do want to get into at least one place, like a place that I can sell my stuff. And I do also, like, there's two sides of it where I kind of mentioned this earlier, I think in the first clip for this channel where I was going through my stuff, or this vlog, I should say, when I was going through my stuff and sorting it. It still, you know, might apply. Anyway, what I was saying is, I want to get into one place like that where like I apply to be part of their place and I can sell my stuff, and like the sales all come to me, and but I'm kind of responsible for the inventory and stuff. Like I have to bring stuff in if it sells or whatever. I also want to get into wholesaling where people just buy stuff from me and then they're responsible for selling it, you know. That's kind of two sides of the same coin. I want to do that this year. One or both, you know, and hopefully start that journey of doing that, like having a little more passive where I don't have to actually sell it. Also, speaking of too, because I had mentioned this in that clip, the first clip on this vlog, there's a place that I follow that is one where it's open on the weekends and you can sell there, like you can rent for the month and sell there. They also have opportunities to do like pop-ups on the weekends, so I might look into doing a pop-up, because with the volume of sales I have right now, not very good, I can't pay rent, you know. That's not going to happen because I'm not guaranteed to make that back. I like this, and unless I win the lottery or something, or someone wants to invest in me, you know. That's not happening. So I don't like the idea of having to be there every weekend either. I mean, you don't technically have to be there. You could close your shop for the weekend, but then I'm not going to sell anything, right? So there's no point. And it's only open on the weekend. Like, it's not like it's open all week and you can choose what days you come in or anything like that. It's just the weekends. So like once in a while on a weekend, I wouldn't mind being there, which is why I want to do like a pop-up. But, you know, like I don't want to be there every weekend, especially because also it's not that close to me. Like it's, again, I'm in Waukesha County in Wisconsin. Well, right, I'm technically in Waukesha County, but I'm right on the edge of Milwaukee County too. But Racine is where this is. So that's like 2 counties away from me, you know? Like that's a bit of a drive to get down there. And if I'm supposed to be there all day on the weekends or whatever, you know, like that. But once in a while I could do it because I'm not doing any vendor events right now. And this is like me kind of, and I don't know how much that costs. I have to kind of ask about that. But their rent is high because it's like $1 per square foot, and their smallest square foot was like $250 or something like that. I'm like, I can't pay $250 a month. I'm not guaranteed to get that back in, 4 weekends there, and if I'm there all month, so can't do that right now. But they do have pop-ups, so I might do that. The other thing, there's another thing I want to talk about. Haven't confirmed this yet completely, but I found out about like kind of close to me, not exactly, like it's in Waukesha proper. Well, like the west side of Waukesha. I'm kind of on the east side of Waukesha where I am. It's a senior living place, but apparently they do like this craft show that gets pretty good attendance, apparently, like for a senior place, it's like 250 attendees or something. That's not that much, but it's better than some of the other smaller ones I've done, honestly, like the school ones. I was kind of attracted to it because of the location for one, but also, and it's not until April. The fee is $30, but technically they said if you pay it by the end of January, which is a whole other month so far, that it'll be 50% off, so it's only $15. And this is in April, like I said, so I'm like, I think I want to do that one. Even though, like, I kind of wanted to shy away from doing smaller ones like this. The $15 fee, the location, I've never done a senior living before, and I've kind of heard of them happening, so, like, I'm kind of confused, like, are these just the seniors that are, buying things, which I do, because this is a spring event. I've never done a proper spring event yet. I'm going to be possibly doing it in May. Like I said, I mentioned that one earlier. But, like, I've done a spring event before, but I didn't have enough product with me when I did them. Well, actually, I've only done it once, technically. And I didn't have any product at that one. So there's things I want to do for, like, a spring event, like flower pots and, related to that kind of stuff that I've never done that I think would sell well. It's kind of me testing that out, I guess, before my bigger event, which is in May. So I think that's another good reason to do it in April, this one coming up. It's also, it is the same weekend as I mentioned the Recraft and Relic. They're the ones that I like doing, and their spring one's the same weekend. It's a 2-day thing with them. This one's only on Saturday, the one that I'm thinking of doing. But I was like, I don't have the money, because I think that's happening in 2 days too, where I have to apply for that, and then I'm going to need the money right away because they said their spring and their fall, this Recraft and Relic I'm talking about, were coming out, like the application's coming out. I think they said in January. I don't know if they said January 1st, but there's a bunch of other ones that are coming out January 1st, and I'm like, do I want to do all these, So there's all that. But, I'd rather do their fall one than their spring one, is what I'm trying to say. So, and I'm probably not going to get into the spring one anyway. I don't have the money for it. So, I might as well just do the smaller one instead. So, I'm thinking of doing that one. I haven't paid yet. I have to actually go to the place to pay. So, I said I'd probably do it sometime this week, or I got until the end of January, technically. So, but I did email the person. They emailed me like the little contract thing, and you can drop off your payment. I'm like, okay. So, I'm probably doing that. The other thing, I contacted a wedding show that takes place in Green Bay, which is a little further away, obviously. It's like 2 hours away. The fee is steep, but not as much as other wedding shows, and I do want to get into one. But my problem with this one is it's in March. It's like it's too soon. I don't think I can do it. And I kind of, like, if it was like $100 or $150 or maybe even $200, I think I might do it, but $325 is a lot when I'm not quite sure that I'm going to be ready by March. So I might keep that in mind for next year, because for some reason, I thought this is a brand new event, and it's not. They've been doing it for a while, so I think I will contact them next year about it. I don't think I'm going to be able to get into that one. If it was later in the year, that's another thing. I would do that. There is one that's later in the year, but it's really expensive. There's one also, the one lady that I talked about in other videos that I did vendor event, well, I did one vendor event with, and I was in another one, but I canceled it, she wants to do a wedding show, and it's not going to be that great a one, I know that. But she's renting out like a bigger place and she wants to see how many people would be interested. So I contacted her about that. So that might be, but that's not happening till 2027, she said. So, and by then I might already be in like bigger wedding shows, hopefully. So maybe I won't do that one anyway. But, you know, there's some doors to get into that industry other ways too. So that's what I'm trying to say. But at least, you know, I got to the point where I inquired and everything, and that's that. I actually, side story real quick. I don't think I mentioned this on this channel at all or anywhere else. Earlier this year, there's this place in, well, Wauwatosa, not that you know where that is unless you're local. It's kind of close, not really. That, like, it's a smaller place, but they're trying to get into like doing weddings at their place or whatever, and it's like a place where you can do like workshops and stuff like that. And it was like a new ownership, like there's a new owner now. I didn't even know about this place. Actually, my point, what I was going to say is they started following me on Instagram. The owner followed me on Instagram, and then I followed her back because I'm like, oh, okay, this is a local place that might be actually useful to me. Maybe I'll do classes there or something. You know, I didn't know if you could like rent out the place your own or if they just do their own workshops or whatever. But I did that. Then when I was following them, I saw that she was doing like a wedding expo. It was supposed to take place in October this year. And I contacted her about it. I'm like, hey, I do signage and stuff like that. You know, and she's like, well, you want to come in and take a tour of the place and you can explain more what you do or whatever. So I'm like, sure. So we set up this date to do it. And I go there and no one's there. At least not that I can tell. The door's locked. I knock on the door, no one answers. I'm like, I was supposed to, like, I took time out of my day, and it was a rainy day too. Like, she just seemed really flighty, and I just got turned off by that. And I looked back later, kind of recently actually, because I was thinking about it, and it doesn't look like she even had this expo, so. Not that I can see, at least. So anyway, but that happened where I almost had kind of an expo, a wedding expo, even though that probably wouldn't have amounted to anything anyway if I would have done it, but kind of, you know, made me mad when, you know, and then like she didn't even email me to say like, where are you? Or like, I'm sorry I was late or whatever it was, you know, like I got a week or two later, she emailed me. She's like, hey, are you still interested? I'm like, no, like, you know, I kind of like, I deleted her from Instagram after that and stuff. I'm like, if this is the way you are, that's not a good sign. Like, I don't want to work with you. I'm just done. Like, this isn't going to work out. And again, this place apparently was owned by someone else before and she took it over. So maybe the other people were better at it. I don't know. I never even knew the place existed until she started following me. But anyway, that almost happened and then it didn't. So I'm like, that's on it, foreshadowing. That is one of my lofty goals, is to get into a wedding show this year. I'm just not sure if it's going to happen because of the price or the timing. Like, because this one wasn't as expensive, the one that I was talking about, that's $325, the one in Green Bay. But I can't hack it anytime soon. Maybe if I'm like, it's like the middle of February and they're still looking for people, I might be able to do it then. But right now, when everything else is due, no, I don't have $325, you know, like I don't. So plus the other thing I'm worried about is that even if I did have the money or I could scrounge around and get it, I don't have, like, it's March 1st. It's like 2 months away. Also, I'm not sure how I'm going to display everything. Like, I'm not ready. If it's a fall thing and I know now that I'm in it, I could do it. But it's March. And I'm like, no. And it's in Green Bay too. It's not anywhere close. So I'd have to drive all the way there, unload all my crap, you know, and set up a wedding booth, which I guess kind of I did it once, sort of, not really, at my first event that I did. But, you know, I can't do it. I'd like to do it, but I can't. So, but again, maybe next year. Maybe next year. If I keep it on the radar, okay, this one isn't that much. And if I don't get into one this year with my lofty goal, but even if I do, maybe I still want to do it. But anyway, 325 is not, because the other ones are like 850 for like the smallest booth. And I'm like, no. Or even more than that, you know, like 1,000. Like, I don't even know if people are gonna even buy anything from me. Like, I'm not wasting that amount of money, you know? It's a hard business to break into unless you have people actually following you, which is my, the social media algorithms. Plus, I don't just do wedding stuff. I do all kinds of stuff. So, like, it's hard to get, like, that niche down, to my wedding clients or prospective wedding clients and stuff. Like, it's irritating. But anyway, so those are the main things I want to talk about. The other thing, I kind of touched on this, I want to start getting organized. Like, so I've started kind of yesterday and today, like, just basically going through my computer, because my desktop is just icons, like trying to sort everything. Do I need this anymore? No. Where should I put this where it would be? And trying to, like, look ahead for the next year, like what would work better next year so I don't get so disorganized. So I have to start all that. I just did all my, I did my sales tax for the year because I'm not selling anything today or tomorrow. Got that in, and I'm starting to kind of make records, because I didn't do this along the way. I'm starting to make records of, like, the events that I did and what I sold and whatnot. Also in preparation for, I'm going to be making a video for my main channel about, like, the recap of all the events I've done. So I want to kind of get this concise, like, data-driven stuff that I can put up, like graphs and stuff. So I started working on that too. And that's what I've been doing a lot of, basically, when I have kind of time sitting on the couch, So gonna keep working on that. I want to talk to you about my goals officially, hopefully tomorrow, but it might be, like, filming wise, like I said, because I'd like to get it in before January 1st, so you know that, I didn't just make these up, afterwards. But I might not have time to film tomorrow. I'm not sure, because I don't know everything we're doing tomorrow, so I might not have time to film, but we'll see. Hopefully I can get, that in tomorrow. Is hopefully the next clip. Hopefully it happens tomorrow, but if not tomorrow, then, one of the days coming up, I will talk about my goals for the year and talk about how I'm going to kind of organize things, because that's what I'm working on right now. I don't really have anything else to say. I might also, like, the next video that I put out might still be more of that kind of stuff, like organizing and showing, like, my new method of doing stuff and whatnot, because that's kind of like the back end of the business, and it's part of the vlog stuff that I'm going to be doing. So anyway, that's what you have to look forward to. I know I've been rambling on a lot today because I had some time to film. So too bad my goals aren't ready now. I wish they were, but they're not. I have ideas. I just don't have them, like, sorted out and written out yet. So we'll talk about that next. So see you then. Hello again. I wanted to film this on New Year's Eve, but I didn't get a chance. So I'm doing it now. It's Friday, January 2nd. I think this video is coming out tomorrow or Sunday. Probably tomorrow when you're watching. So I have my goals. I probably have more that I want. In fact, I've already added another one after I printed it out. I wrote it down. So I probably have more that I, forgot about or whatever, and I will add to it throughout the year. And I may adjust things, but for now, it's what I have. So let's go over that. Put that down. I don't think I need that anymore. So I have a bunch. I think I counted 16, but now I have 17 because I have the one I penned in, technically. About 17, like, goals where I have just a goal, and then well, if I do that, maybe I can do more goal, and then I have a lofty goal. So I have 3 levels. And then I have things that I have, just kind of things that I want to accomplish once at least during this year. And then I have something for daily. I'll just tell you the daily one real quick now. I want to post something on my social media / YouTube for my main channels, my main Shrush Design channels, which I'm going to talk about more about that in a minute, but my main tutorial channel, sometimes they're separated, and my local channel as well. So I want to get something out every day, whether that's a short video or like a reel or a story or a post of some sort, like a carousel or just text or whatever, something. out every day, at least one. And if I miss a day, then I have to make it up within the next 2 days, but I have to double it. So I have to do 2 extra. So I'd have to do the next 2 days. I'd either have to do 2 the next 2 days, or I'd have to do 3 on one of the days, and then 1 on the next day, or 1 and then 3, in order to catch up, in order to still be okay with my goal, basically. So it would be kind of a penalty. Sometimes I will do more than 1 and 2, but that doesn't count unless I canceled the day before and I didn't have anything. So that's my daily goal. And that's pretty much, I think, the only thing that I would expect of myself daily. I guess I could do the one-off goals next. So I want to do a wedding vendor event, which I mentioned in my last clip, I believe, that I had the opportunity to do one in March, but I'm not going to be able to get that one done. But there are other opportunities throughout the year. I might be able to get into one of those, possibly. We'll see. It's, it's been on my list, my goal list. Not that I really had a list any other year, but like it's been something I've wanted to do for years and years and years. I just haven't done yet. So that's still on my list. Related to that, I'd like to get hired to do a wedding project of some sort. Could be just one big sign, or invitations, because I do that too. But anyway, so someone who is an actual client, not a family member, like I did my cousin's wedding last year in 2025. I did some stuff for my sister's reception the year before, because she eloped. And I did stuff for my own wedding years and years ago, but I haven't done an actual like client's wedding yet. So I want to do that this year, at least once. Something other than a wedding, a custom order of some sort. Again, someone who's not related to me or a friend or someone I know in my life. A custom order over $50 worth in one transaction, or one person, basically. I mean, custom order period would be one too, I guess, but also I'd rather have it like a bigger one, So that's my goal, one of my one-off goals. I also want to start a membership type community, like Patreon or something like that. I've looked into that before. I even had one started, technically, but I never advertised it. And I let it lapse because they were like, hey, you haven't used this. We're going to cancel it if you don't use it. So it's canceled right now. But I don't even know if I'm going to do Patreon necessarily. Something like that, though. Get that started. Something paid, but like a monthly membership kind of thing. So I want to do something like that this year. We're going to talk about Substack when I get to the other part of this, but that's kind of similar, but it's not exactly the same thing. But I don't know, maybe I might start counting my Substack as that too. We'll see. Not that I have anything. I'll get to that, but I don't have any paid subscribers on Substack anyway. So, but anyway, that's that. I have one more. Start selling on an online marketplace or places. Because, so, at the end of last year, if you've been watching, I did finally get sort of an online shop going on my website, which I would prefer doing it on my website, but because, it's really complicated the way I have things and whatever. I want to get on something that already has like its own kind of marketing built into it, or people know about it already, so I don't have to advertise it as much myself. Now, that being said, most people would say Etsy. I don't want to do Etsy. Etsy has problems. I don't want to do Etsy. The only way I would do Etsy is just custom orders, and I'm not quite ready to set that up yet. So that wouldn't count even if I did that this year. That wouldn't count towards this goal. There are other options. There's, I actually had a Go Imagine account, which is similar to Etsy. It's a lot smaller, obviously, but it's United States based. You have to be in the United States. You have to make handmade stuff. It's like a juried thing where you have to apply, and I did get in, but I never used it. And I just recently kind of deactivated that or paused it or whatever, because I was getting charged $2.50, not $250 per month, but I wasn't actually using it. And every time I was charged, I was like, well, I should start using that because I'm getting paid. I'm charging, they're charging me $200. They're charging me $2.50. So I should probably start using it, and I never did. So I finally, last month, I think it was like, hey, I'm not using this yet. I should cancel that for now. So, I mean, it was only $2.50, you know, $2.50, like I said. But anyway, I have that. I also have the Michaels Marketplace, which is similar. I haven't really looked into that as much, but I do, because I spend enough at Michaels. I am into the point where I don't have to pay monthly for it. But I think you still get fees like when something sells, but I don't have to pay monthly for it. So I might start doing that at least. And then, you know, maybe eBay, depending on what I do. I know eBay has kind of similar issues to Etsy though, but they're not like all handmade. It's supposed to be at eBay, so that's a whole other thing. Amazon is the same way. It's all like fraud and stuff. I don't even want to get into that. I don't really want to do those. Maybe eBay. I have to look into it a little more. But anyway, or I did at one point have, was it Shopify? I think I had that started to be set up, and then like it got too complicated. But that's also because my items are too complicated. So maybe I can get that set up this year too, which is a better option. I mean, I'd like people to just go to my website. I'd like to be in control of it myself, but it's hard for me because no one follows me. We'll get to that in the other part of this, but you know, I don't have enough of a following where people are gonna, you know, and I know it's something I have to advertise better too, but you know, it's just, ugh. So I'm gonna try to sell on a bigger platform somewhere, not just my website, sometime this year, hopefully soon. But anyway, those are my one-off goals. Then my goals where I have 3 tiers. So we talked about this earlier in the video. I ended up not doing the opportunity that I had, you know, right around this time. It's actually, I think it's opening on the 7th, so like 5 days from now. But it wasn't really that close to me. It was kind of far away, not too far away. I mean, I've driven up there before. It's Grafton. But for my first one, it might be a little too far away for me. I don't know. But anyway, vendor mall is what I'm talking about. Something like that. They have different names for them, but like a vendor mall type place. I would like to try to get into at least 1 this year. That's my first tier of that goal. Then I'd try to get into 3. And then my lofty goal is 5. And then similarly, it can sometimes be the same thing, but it's technically a different category. I talked about that earlier in this video, I believe too. But wholesale, like people, the difference is in the vendor malls, I would be bringing my stuff to it, and I would be in charge of what gets sold. Well, I think they have like restrictions and stuff, but you know, I would be in charge of bringing the inventory there, like when it gets depleted or whatever, or I could choose to put new things in or whatever. I have my own little booth or whatever there, whereas wholesale, this is someone who owns like a store boutique, or like a specialized kind of thing, and they might buy a certain thing from me, just that, not all of my stuff, and you know, they'll display it somewhere in the store, and they're like, okay, I ran out of these, I want to buy more, or I ran out of these but I don't want to buy more, or I'm not selling these, so maybe I'm not going to ever sell these again, or whatever. Like they're in charge of that. So it's a little bit more like passive, where I don't have to do anything. They just order it from me, and I give them what they want, and then they sell it or they don't sell it. So it's got the same numbers. I want to do that with 1 this year, possibly 3 is the next goal, and then 5 if I can really get up there. I've been talking about this for a while. I don't know if I should do that. Okay. I want to do some type of class, which I think would help me get a following, for one thing, but like in person. So I was thinking lettering to start with. Have a very beginning lettering class somewhere locally. But my problem there is I have to get a venue. And then am I going to have enough people? Am I going to have any people, first of all? But then am I going to have enough people to justify, you know, the cost of the venue and everything? It's a hard thing when I don't have a following to figure out, you know? So something I've been like, I want to do, but I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready yet, you know? Then, so next, I think I want to start here instead. And I have been thinking about this for years too. Online courses. I actually did start one a couple years ago about holiday window painting. It was kind of last minute. And again, I don't have a following, so I didn't really get anyone to sign up for it. But I do have a free one that is connected to my Procreate videos that I have on my other channel that has like more explanation on it and stuff like that I have had people sign up for, but it's free, so you know. But even that I have to kind of find a new home for, because it's a long story. I'm not even gonna start. But I sort of had success with that a bit, not really. But as far as like a paid one, I don't have any yet. So I want to get paid. I should have said paid online courses. That's what I meant. But I want to get at least one. Wait, no, at least two. I'm on the wrong level. I want 2 online courses at least, and 1 in person at least one time during the year. And then, so 2 for my regular goal, 4 for my, okay, this is working out good goal, let's do some more, and 6 for my lofty goal for that. Now, also subscribers on my main YouTube channel. So that's not this channel, it's my regular Shrush Design channel. I've talked about it before on this channel. It's the one I started with years ago, 2022. Currently today, as far as let me double check, see if anything's changed. But I actually gained 2 today so far. But I have 538 subscribers right now. Now, I don't know if you know the parameters on YouTube, but you need 1,000 subscribers plus 4,000 watch hours in the last year, like the last 12 months or 365 days. So as far as the hours go, let me see if I can see that on here real quick. I only have 443, if you didn't hear that, out of, I need 4,000 for the monetized tier with the ads and everything. Now they recently, within I think a year ago or something like that, there was a different threshold where you could have 500 subscribers, which I do have. I have 538. And you have to have at least 3 video uploads, obviously, too, within the year, or within the last 90 days, it says. But also, you still need 3,000 watch hours, which I don't have. But I also don't get ads then. There's certain things you can do, like if you do live videos, you can do super chats and stuff like that. Or you can advertise things like there's a shop button or something you can add to your videos. Like I could do that if I reach that, and I probably, I don't know, it depends. Might be able to reach that this year, at least that level. But in order to actually monetize as far as ads go and stuff like that, I need 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. Now, just to say real quick, because I think I've mentioned this before on other videos, my first year in YouTube, there was a video that I did where it was Procreate, about the app Procreate. That video was taken off, and it surprised me when it happened, is what I was trying to say. And if YouTube would have left it alone the way it was, where the way it was naturally getting like views and stuff like that, YouTube apparently decided that it wasn't natural, but it was. Anyway, if they would have left that video alone and not suppressed it the way they did, I would have been monetized just from that video alone, because the way it was going, I have 153 or something like that subscribers just from that video alone. I had, the watch hours were getting there. I don't remember exactly where the peak was. Maybe I could figure that out if I look somewhere in my analytics. It might be hard to find right now. But I know I was getting close to the watch hours, not like super, super close to the 4,000. But again, if people would have just watched that video and subscribed because of it, and YouTube would have left it alone and kept recommending it to people, because that's what they did. They stopped recommending it to people, and people have to search for it now. And I still get people every once in a while that'll watch that video or other Procreate videos I have and will filter in because of that. But I used to be where they were showing it because, oh, people like this video, you know. And then they're like, no, you're getting too much attention from this one video, so there must be something wrong here. It's a long story. So, anyway, if they would have left it alone and, you know, left me alone and trusted me that I was actual human and that I was making, you know, good content and stuff, then I would have had it by then. But anyway, that was just an aside. So this year, I'm going to try my hardest to get 750 as my first goal, which isn't to the monetization yet, but it's getting there, and I think it's doable even at the pace I'm doing now. And I want to up that up. So 750. Then my next goal after that is, okay, let's see if we can hit 1,000 this year. Then my goal after that is, not only can we get 1,000 plus, or just 1,000, but also with the watch hours that I need, aka get monetized on my main channel. That's my lofty goal this year for the main YouTube channel. Maybe I can do it, we'll see. But hopefully I can get at least to like 750, because I'm over 500, and that was kind of my goal for last year, and I did that. So we're getting there. Now, that was my main channel. My next goal is about regularly posting on my YouTube channel. So right now, technically, even this one, I'm not regularly posting to. So I have 0 as what my baseline is now. This one, this channel, which does count, I was posting regularly too. I just started this one a couple months ago, as you know. But because of the holidays and because of everything else going on, you know, things got a little jumbled towards the end of the year. But this video coming out is my first one in the year. From this video on this channel, I want to do my normal schedule, which is Tuesday, Thursday, and one of the weekend days, normally Saturday. So at least 3 a week, Tuesday, Thursday, maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday. And that would be regular on this channel. That one I think I can do. So that should be 1 right there. Now I do want 2 for my regular goal. And then I also want 3 for my loftier goal and 5 for my lofty goal. I know you're like, wait, you have 5 channels? Sort of. We'll talk about that in a second. But, so this one I think I can do relatively easily once I start, you know, getting into the new year and start getting more organized, which probably is going to be what the next video is about, is doing more organization type stuff. It's going to be a little boring, I'm sorry. But we're going to start getting into more exciting things, I promise. But anyway, so for this channel, I should have no problem going back to my regular main channel, which is the one I want to gain subscribers on. I'd like subscribers here too, by the way. If you're watching and you'd like to subscribe, please do. But I don't necessarily need to monetize this channel. This is more of a behind the scenes kind of thing, extra, you know, and it's also more for my local following, but even if you're not local, that's fine. And local, by the way, means southeastern Wisconsin. But anyway, for my main channel, so I talked about my Procreate video that took off. Another reason why that was kind of an issue was because that wasn't really what my channel was started out as, and it's not what I want it to be totally. Like, I do other things, and I use Procreate in the things that I do sometimes, and I was mentioning it in my older videos, and then I was like, well, I should probably make a Procreate video just to introduce you to it, and that's the video that took off. So now I feel like, not that I don't want to do this, but I feel like I'm kind of stuck having to do Procreate videos because everyone loves the Procreate videos. But I also do other things. So I started coming up with a system where I would do Procreate videos on Fridays and main videos, which is how I start, like, you know, window painting and sign making and design related things on my main videos, which were always Wednesdays. So I had Wednesday, my main type of video, Fridays, my Procreate videos, and then I wanted to do also Mondays with a shorter video, like a very short, quick, not too short, like 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 20, a lot shorter than most of my videos, about like a specific topic, just talking about that specifically, not one of my long-winded videos that I do. So I wanted to start doing those on that channel as well. So then I have 3 on that channel too per week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Then, before this channel, when I was starting, even when I was starting my channel, my main channel that I have, I already wanted to do 2 separate channels off of that. One, wedding related, wedding DIYs, or, the kind of stuff that I do for weddings, and planning, because I started out actually in that realm. I was originally going to open a wedding planning business, and I ended up not doing that. So I want to do that channel separately, because it's not, it's kind of overlaps with my main channel, but it's got a separate kind of thing to it. And if I would have known better, I would have done my Procreate one differently too, but I didn't know it was going to take off the way it was. So, lesson learned there. But now at this point, it's too late to do it, so now I have both going on that channel. But anyway, so I have the wedding channel, which is Shrush Design Weddings, if you're interested. And then I also have a lettering channel called Poised Pen Craft. I want to start both. I've been saying this the last 3 years, pretty much, that I wanted to start those channels this year. This year I'm going to do it, okay? So, it's actually my next goal with that too. I'll talk about that in a second. But as far as regularly posting, 2 is my goal for the year, which is this channel and my main channel. 3 is my loftier goal. So adding one of those channels, the wedding and the, I forgot to talk about one, the wedding and the lettering channel. Those are, no, maybe not. I'll talk about the other one in a second, but those are the ones that I have been talking about opening up for the last 3 years. So adding one of those to be regular, which doesn't necessarily mean 3 a week like these. I have to kind of decide how I want to do those. I think my problem is with the wedding one, for instance, is if someone is planning their wedding right now and they're starting to watch my videos, they're going to be like, where are the rest of them, because I only put out one a week or whatever. So I'm kind of worried about that. And I want to kind of have more in the tank, I guess. I don't know. I'll probably start with DIYs first anyway. But in fact, I have videos I filmed all the videos that I made for my cousin's wedding. I filmed those already, so I have footage there. I just have to make it into a video. But anyway, I want to get that started sometime. I want to do it soon, but I don't know. It's defining what regular means for that channel, basically. I'm not sure. Same with the letter. Now, the other one I want to talk about, because I said there might be 5. I recently started learning embroidery. I think I talked about that earlier in this video. I don't know if I did or not, but I recently started learning embroidery and sewing and that kind of stuff. I just got a sewing machine that I got from my mother-in-law because she can't use it anymore. So I have that I want to get started with. So I want to make a channel related to that kind of stuff. And again, I incorporate my own designs and lettering into it. I don't just like follow patterns and stuff like that. Even though I might occasionally, depends on the pattern. But I want to start a channel about that. Also because when I started learning embroidery, I couldn't really find the thing that I was looking for, which is like when I'm just starting to learn like all the different stitches and stuff, like a nice long, not long, but longer video where it's not like just a short or something of learning like that particular stitch, because there's all kinds of different kinds. So I want to start out making videos about like one, depends, there might be a few on certain videos, but when we get into the more complex ones, it would be like one per video where I take the whole video and I like slow down and show you exactly how to do it, and then I show you over and over again how to do it, and I talk about like the things that you can do wrong and stuff like that. I want to make those. So, but I also eventually would make like the whole patterns and stuff like that videos. And that's just embroidery. Like I said, I want to kind of expand into other things like sewing and maybe crochet and knitting. I haven't learned any of that yet, but someday maybe. So I want that all separate on a different channel. So the other thing I was going to say is once I get all the stitch ones out, which I think I might do faster, but once I do that, when I do more of the pattern and stuff like that, I might do like, bi-weekly or monthly even, and that would be regular for that. The stitches, though, I do want to get out a little earlier, or faster, I mean. So I don't know what to count that as regular, by the end of the year, I guess, basically is what this is supposed to be. So anyway, that was that. Now the next category was YouTube channels started with real videos, so this one's already done. I have two, this one and my main one. I have regular videos out at some like more professional, not that these are very professional on this one, but more professional. I have channels for the wedding and the lettering one, Poise Pen Craft. I don't technically have my other, I don't even know what the name is going to be yet necessarily. I was starting to think about it, but I don't have that one yet. Once I have it, I'll list it in the description for this video. But they technically have channels and stuff, and I think I have a short on both of them, at least one, but I don't have like an actual video. I want to get like an actual video on there, at least one, so that it looks like a more legitimate channel. So right now I only have two. My goals are 3, 4, and 5. The other thing with the YouTube thing, these videos that I make for this channel, I think I've mentioned this before, but I specifically make them so that I don't have to do a lot of editing. Really, the only thing I do is cut stuff out, like if I'm stumbling over my words, which happens, or if I sit here and I'm trying to think of what I wanted to say, that also happens. I cut that out, but, and there may be like repetitive stuff. Sometimes it still gets put in, the repetitive stuff, but I do go through the entire video when I'm editing and I listen to the whole thing, make sure it's coherent, Sometimes it might be a little hard to take things out, even if they're repetitive, so I'm just going to leave it. You're just going to have to hear it twice, I'm sorry, sometimes. Or if I have like contradicting stuff too, sometimes that's a pain. But, these are meant to be more vlog-like. I don't add anything to it. There's been occasions where I had to add like a voiceover for something, because I had to kind of explain something more, and I wasn't able to do it in the moment for some reason. But I try not to do that. I try not to add like pictures or videos on top of the video that I'm filming, because that takes time. That's why I do like when I do the TV and I show you stuff on the TV, I'm showing you in time where I'm not having to add it later. But that's what I do with this channel, but all the rest of them are not like that. So, by the way, I also have another channel that's personal. I don't really mention it on my business channels, but I'll mention it here real quick. I haven't posted on there in a while, but I do start posting again on that. Now, technically, that's not related to my business. That's more self-employment versus self-employment with my business. Like, it's kind of separate. But the channel name is called Shrushing Through Life. It's mainly about, my other job, taking care of the house and stuff, and baking and stuff like that. I don't post very often to it. I want to do a little more regularly, but that's at the same time, it's additional to everything else. I don't have to do that, but it's easier to do that because I do that stuff anyway, and I'll just start filming myself, So it's hard to kind of balance everything, but that doesn't count towards this business stuff. That was just an extra thing. I thought I'd mention it in case anyone wanted to follow, but you don't have to. All right, so vendor event daily gross sales record. So right now, as of my Whisker Wonderland event that I did a month ago, in December, my daily event record was $118, and that's at a vendor event, like I said. So my goal to break that is $150. Should be doable, I think, once I start doing them again. I'm not doing them right now. $200 is my next goal, and then $300 is my lofty goal. And that's most events that I do are one day. If I do a multi-day event, it would be per day. So That's what that means. Average monthly gross revenue, that's including vendor events or any other sales that I make otherwise, or like when I start doing courses, or if I do monthly subscriptions and stuff like that. That all averages in towards the average. So I have my goal set. I know this doesn't seem like a lot, but I am just starting. My goal is set at 200 per month right now, average. Not that I have to reach 200 every month, but average at the end of the year, 200 per month. And actually, at the end of last year, if you don't count the zeros, because I started in like July, so if you don't count 0 as like every other month, I averaged about 100 per month, a little more than 100 per month. So I think that's doable. So 200 per month is my goal. 350 is a little loftier, and then 500 per month average at the end of the year is my lofty goal. So then my yearly gross revenue, again, this doesn't sound like much. I do other things to make money. Like I said, not that I was making money in my personal YouTube, but if I was making money, that would be separate. And like other self-employment stuff, or if I'm selling stuff, or like selling personal stuff or whatever, like that's goes into my like personal revenue. But my business revenue for now is, my goal is $2,500 for this year. I plan on working all 12 months. Last year I didn't work all 12 months, so I only made, I don't remember the exact number, but it was like 700. So not bad for only working 6 months. So 2,500 is my goal this year. 5,000 is a little loftier, and then 10,000 is my lofty goal. Now, if I get all this other stuff done and they really start taking off, I could make way more than that. But to kind of judging on how things are going now and just kind of upping it up a little bit, that's what it's based on. Email or newsletter subscribers for my local business. So, right now I have like 5, and I haven't sent out anything, but I have something like 5 people that have like given me their email address that I could send an email to. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to do it this year. I just haven't done it yet. But I want to, amp that up for this year. I'm really ramping it up. So my goal is 50 from 500 is my second goal, and 500 is my third goal. So hoping to really get that going. Now I have the rest of this, well, not all of it, Facebook followers for my regular Shrush Design online tutorials Facebook. Right now I have 95, so I'm hoping for 150 for this year. 300 would be okay, a little bit better, and then 500 is my lofty goal. Same account, but on Instagram. I have 91 currently. Same goals, 150, 300, and 500. Now, talking about my local, because I branched that off on Facebook and Instagram. They have a separate thing for just my local business. Right now I have 42 followers, and that's for begging for them yesterday from my family and friends. One person did follow me after that, because it was 41, now it's 42. Because I did a little end of the year video, Anyway, my goal is 100 at least. 250 is the next goal, and then 500 for my lofty goal. Instagram, right now I have 36, and this is for my local one again. I have 36. I want 100. It's the same goals, 100, 250, or 500 again. The next thing I have is my Substack, which I kind of started talking about. So I have, again, because I do so many different things, I have like a bunch of Substacks, and I haven't posted any of them in like months. And I don't have any paid subscribers. I do have free subscribers to some of them. I want to start getting some paid ones. I have 0 right now. I want at least 20 by the end of the year. 50, if I get 20, then I want 50. And if I get 50, then I want 100. And if I get 100, then I want more than that. Same with all the other goals. The thing that I wrote down that I forgot to put on here, that I thought of after fact, is I want to paint windows for a business this year. or do a wall mural, because it's sort of the same thing. One's a little more permanent, but it's sort of the same kind of thing going on. Wall mural's a little better, but they're similar. I don't want to count them differently. So I'm going to do at least one of those this year. One. I've been wanting to do these for years. And most people do it during the holidays, especially at the windows, not necessarily the wall murals. Last holiday season, and we're talking 2024, I couldn't because I didn't have a car, my own car. You know, I could have squeezed it in like a project or two, but I wasn't able to like just advertise and be like, oh, you want to hire me? Okay, I'll do that, and then I'll do that, and then I'll do that. So that didn't happen. It's very hard to like advertise. Oh, I only have like 2 spots. Can someone help me? You know? So that was that. I didn't have my own car 2024. 2025, as I think you know earlier in this video, certainly in the last couple of videos, as I said, early November, my father-in-law died. Then we had to move my mother-in-law into our house, which meant that because of her needing care and stuff, I couldn't leave the house. So I wasn't able to do windows. I was able to do my holiday events that I had scheduled on the weekends, because then my husband was home and he could do that by himself, or he'd watch her. But other than that, I couldn't leave the house, so I couldn't do windows this last year, 2025. So hopefully this year, even if it doesn't happen during the holiday season, hopefully someone wants me to paint their windows or a wall mural. And I do have to advertise better for that, but again, I wasn't prepared in my life to do it, so how could I advertise for it? Anyway, so I don't think I went over my goals. 1 at least for my goal. And could even be a one-off goal, like finally paint a window or a wall that isn't my own or a friend's. 1. Next goal is 5, and goal after that is 10. Because if I can get a pop in holiday season, I should be able to do that. But we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, so those are my goals so far. Like I said, I may have 4 that I need to add, because honestly, I was thinking about it earlier, but I just sat down and did this today because I haven't had a chance. But, so I think this is going to be the end of this video. Like I said, I think it's going to come out tomorrow because I'm filming this Friday, so you're going to see it on Saturday. The next video should come out Tuesday, which is let me see, here's my calendar. Tuesday's the 6th, which is the Epiphany. So Christmas is going to be over then. So, Tuesday the 6th, Thursday the 8th, and next Saturday the 10th. And again, should be 3 a week going for the rest of this year. Otherwise, I can't count it on my regularly posting. I mean, I guess if I miss one every once in a while, it'd be fine, because this is really towards the end of the year they have to be regular posting, but I'm trying to get this one back on schedule where I do Tuesday, Thursday, and the weekend. Because now the holidays are over and I don't have an excuse. My mother-in-law's in her new place. She's not living here. And sadly, my cat has died, but I don't have to take care of him anymore. So it's a lot off my plate. So I can finally start doing this stuff more regularly, hopefully, and get it under control. And get it under control so that if something does happen, I can still do things, because I had fallen so far behind over the last couple of years. So hopefully I can get back under control, which is the next video I want to talk about, is where we're going to do more organization type stuff and how I feel like doing things and stuff like that. We're going to talk about that. So that's going to be Tuesday's video. But anyway, so for this video, bye. Thanks for watching. I'm sure I took enough of your time.